Alright, Schlockmeister fans, we're going to watch something here called the Chicken Chronicles. Never seen it before. Let's check it out. Steve Guttenberg as Dave Kessler.
No, I said. I'm not allowed to eat breakfast before me. Mom, you know that.
Look at me. I can't see what you're wearing.
The Varsity Club blazer, Mother.
Is it clean?
It's 1969. Here's his friend Mark. They're both seniors in high school.
The car is out, and she won't go anywhere near my room. I can't touch her if my parents are home. I can't touch her if Charlie's home. I can't touch her if no one's home. Because
They also work together at a place called Chicken on the Run, a fast food place, where they like to play chicken basketball. Phil Silvers is their boss, Max.
You're both late. I want a full night's work for my money. And come on, Haley, that ain't no white shirt.
The song and dance portion of our film. Dave's girlfriend is this chick, Margaret, played by Lisa Reeves.
Might as well forget it, Dave. You know how I feel.
well, you know how I feel. By the time I get you home, I can't walk. I hurt so much.
Some at school hijinks when Dave steals the hall pass machine to create his own. That's his friend Tracy.
Dave!
He wants a private place to take Margaret. His little brother can set him up.
Tell Mom we stole her Reds.
You wouldn't. Oh, that's an incredibly dirty way to do business.
All right. We'll work something out. Afterwards, huh?
Oh, the sun is tangled.
And his passes are working.
Okay.
He does get her to a place
What do you want me to do?
where they're all alone.
I've been beating my brains out for 6 weeks trying to find some place to suit you. Now, this fits all the requirements.
You had it all figured
But
out?
he didn't bring a condom.
We can get away with it once. Well, I'll control myself.
No. Oh, we better go. The worst will be home any minute.
No, they won't. It's early. Listen, if I go out and get one, will you wait here?
Go out and get one. Where?
Uncle's right down the block. If any
Galoshes for the masses, Tom. Right here.
That's Uncle Rico on the
Now,
right.
you're sure you know how to use them? They can be very dangerous.
And that guy you might remember from My Tutor.
Listen, guys.
When he gets back, Margaret's gone. Her parents, or whoever it is that lives there, has come home.
I'll kill you, you pervert!
Christ, I don't know. She must have gotten away. She got away? Then what's to worry about?
He left Margaret there.
I promised her that'd be the safest place in the world. Oh, I'm a dead man. That's what's to worry. Maybe you better call her. Call her, right. Call her where? Here, you idiot.
But he's still horny, so he decides to call her from his friend Tracy, who kind of has the hots for him.
Trace, you want to come over to my house? Would that be okay? Right.
All right.
I'll see you in a bit then.
Tracy lets him know that Margaret's kind of a loose girl.
Okay, so they were running around the house playing tag with no clothes on.
I had it.
So you called me.
Oh, Tracy.
Let's see, you called me because you couldn't get Margaret and you thought I'd do as a quick substitute.
Don't you know Margaret's on the pill? No, she's not.
More info about
All right,
Margaret.
what makes you think that?
You know Ronnie Kyle, the big mouth? She was very careful to tell me that Margaret was on it.
She never told me.
Don't apologize.
Might as well ask her.
In fact, I might ask you for an apology.
I don't have anything to apologize to you for.
Will you answer me one question?
That depends.
Are you on the pill? They got Mark.
Uncle Rico again.
What police? 2 plainclothes Juvies are down in Nasty's office right now with Mark. Cops? They called the cops about passes? I don't know, man.
He got in trouble for
Pissed off
smoking a
I could
joint.
scream. I was afraid they'd find the rest of our stash in my locker. So I flushed 2.5 ounces of our good dope. And then those dumb cops didn't even search my locker.
No, wait a minute, like
And he's in trouble for a column he wrote for the school newspaper.
We scratch. It's your uncooperative attitude.
Not liking school is uncooperative?
Not getting the approval of your faculty advice for editorial material is uncooperative.
Is that what this is all about?
I sort of thought
Max
you
thinks
understood I was going to take off. Maybe not for good.
Dave
just
could
long
take
enough
over the
to go to
business.
Texas and get Billy, convince her to come back. Bought a new house for her already. You were the only one who ever worked for me I thought was smart enough to run this place without me to blow his nose.
Instead, he decides to quit.
Here. Go on. Quit. still here?
Actually, I think he just wanted to watch the business while he was out of town.
Mr. Finney said I could bring this in late.
I always work late.
This is my column for the senior edition for this week, okay?
Okay.
He was supposed to change the story, but instead he just changed the title of the story. It's a controversial story about the Vietnam War.
Wow, you've really done it this time.
And all on the same day. You wanna know what the most off-the-wall part is? I don't care. Well, one thing.
End of the school party.
Charlie and his brother.
David's brother shows up.
I had an invitation.
That's funny. I couldn't find mine tonight.
Look, man, you owed me. To the garage. Let's not argue. Butt out.
Charlie.
Margaret might want to apologize.
Margaret.
I just came to see if you'd like to dance. If it's all right.
Go ahead.
I can't blame you for what happened.
Oh, yeah? We better get back.
Dave, I can't stand seeing you with Tracy. Thank you, Stuart.
Rude bastard.
He makes up with Max.
Alright.
Charlie got beat up at the party.
A few misunderstandings, but he's a good man.
I really appreciate it, Mr. Oak.
It's okay, kid. If you ever drop out of school, come and see me. I'll hold your seniority.
The school is not happy with the article.
You fool. It's all your fault. He's your student. Me? You gave him the ultimatum. And I'm giving you one. Fine.
Cigarette now.
David finally gets to go to bed with a woman.
It's not a
Tracy.
requirement.
That's basically our film.
Get back in bed. I'll stop.
David!
Hi, Mom.
All right, the Chicken Chronicles. I never even heard of this movie. I think Kino Lorber, this is a brand new release. I picked this up. Kino Lorber had a sale, I think, and this one was included. Bought a few of their movies, and I grabbed this one because I think I heard about this movie about a month ago, maybe, and it sounded interesting. It sounded like a sex comedy from the 70s, like a maybe a slightly better sex comedy, but I'd never heard of it before. Apparently it had been released in VHS, but I think this is its disc debut. So anyway, it stars Steve Guttenberg. I think this was his first role that his first theatrical role that he had a credit for. He did a TV movie before that, as well as another movie where he's uncredited. And Jonathan Grise, who played Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite, I think it was his first role too, first or second role. But anyway, it's there's not a whole lot of plot here, to be honest with you. It takes place in 1969. There's a lot of references to the Vietnam War in this movie. It is a comedy, and he is a senior in high school. Has a girlfriend named Margaret, a friend named Mark. He and Mark work for a chicken restaurant called Chicken on the Run, which is run by Phil Silvers. It's just basically a few days in the life of these kids. We follow David mostly. By the way, David Kessler is his name. Exact same character name that David Naughton had in American Werewolf in London, David Kessler. But anyway, so he's trying to get laid from his girlfriend, Margaret. Apparently she hasn't put out yet. And then he's been working on that throughout the first half of the film. Eventually he gets her to a place, but he doesn't have a condom, so he has to run out and get one. And then when he does come back, she's gone because the parents came home. It was a big mess. And then he hears through the grapevine, through some friends of his, that she's kind of loose and has been with other guys before. And he's like, well, why did you make me go get a condom if you're on the pill? You know, that sort of thing. And then they kind of break up, and then he kind of hooks up with his friend Tracy. There's some hijinks where he steals this hall pass machine and a stamp for the principal that allows him to hand out hall passes to himself and his friends. There's also he writes for his school newspaper, and he writes an article about I don't know if it was an anti-Vietnam or anti-Vietnam War piece, whatever. The school editor authority guy said, you cannot print this because we're going to have people screaming at us, parents, faculty, whatever, so change it. Instead, he just changed the title of it and resubmitted it, and it got printed. And then that had a big, there was a big ruckus over that. Ultimately, he ends up almost going back to Margaret. They kind of make up a little bit, but then he gets punched by Margaret's new boyfriend, and then he's back with Tracy again. Basically, the last movie or scene in the movie is him and Tracy in bed. He finally did get laid, and his mom bursts in and disrupts him, and that's it. The Chicken Chronicles. Now, apparently, the director just said this was an exact takeoff of Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles, or at least that's where the name came from anyway. Had nothing to do with The Martian Chronicles as far as I know. But that's it. Now, again, this actually was a decent film. It was well made. The actors were a higher quality than some similar type films. The only thing this thing was missing, though, nudity. I don't think there was a single boob in this entire film, and it could have used some. I know some of the actresses in this movie had done nude scenes before, like Margaret, who was the cheerleader and the one who was first with Steve Guttenberg's character, David. She was in the Pom Pom Girls, and I know she showed her boobs in that movie. I've reviewed that movie, I believe, too. And so was Tracy. I think she done a nude scene as well. So, but yeah, no nudity in this one. It could have used some. It would have been a nice refresh. It was kind of cool to see Uncle Rico in a very young role. Looks like a baby. I saw him a couple years later in Joysticks. Of course, he was made up as King Vidiot. You couldn't even really see his face in that movie. But man, he looks like a baby here. Steve Guttenberg was like 19 or 18 when he made this movie. And the kid who played Billy in My Tutor, who was kind of the swinging friend of Matt Lattanzi in that movie, he has a small role in this movie as well. But anyway, that's it. It's a decent film. Came out in 1977. Again, I'd never heard of this until recently. It's not bad. Blu-ray is now up from Kino Lorber, and it's a decent film. Just could use some boobs. Check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about the Chicken Chronicles. Watch it. Bye.